Xavier. The knight entered the room and greeted the gentleman. The hero bared his teeth and ordered that the intruder's hand be cut off. The swordsman silently grabbed the handle of the weapon. The guests backed away in fear and shouted that they had completely lost their minds. The brown-haired man raised his chin and suggested that they check again whose side the court would take. Xavier threateningly bared his blade. The moneylenders began to sweat and looked at him in fear. The men quickly headed for the exit, shouting that they would make him regret it. The door quickly slammed behind them. Lloyd chuckled and called them worthless. The Baron turned to the boys, and they looked at him. The man jumped up and asked what they had just done in a situation where they had to beg on their knees. The boy silently put the bag on the table. The boy smiled and said that he had originally wanted to get the entire deposit and give it back, but this amount was also enough to pay this month's interest. The father looked at him in shock and asked if this was really the money collected from the villagers. The knight closed his eyes and asked the Baron not to worry. He looked at the owner and promised that he would make sure that the boy fulfilled the terms of the contract. Arcus looked closely at the swordsman and thought that his expression showed that he completely trusted him. Lloyd bowed and said that in that case they would go. The boys walked down the corridor. Xavier glanced sideways at the master and said that he did not expect the fool to know such laws. The interlocutor frowned and exclaimed that he had simply heard it somewhere. In general, it was true. Xavier himself told about it in the novel. After the Baron and his wife committed suicide, 2 moneylenders wanted to dig up the bodies and sell them. Then the knight voiced this law. Saying these words, he cut their necks. In court, the guy was completely acquitted. The hero closed his eyes with satisfaction and thought that it was a big plus to know the contents of the novel. The young man smiled and noted that a notification should have arrived by now. Notification: Baron Frontera's interest has increased by 6 points. By improving relations with the main character, you receive 60 RP, quantity 61. Lloyd smiled that everything happened as he planned to get the Phantom as soon as possible. The moon was shining in the night sky. The hero was standing on the training ground. He looked around to make sure there was no one around.